Flattery versus Mariscotti, case number 2015-2074 DP. And counsel, could you please state your appearance for the record?
Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm attorney Kyle Bristow. I represent the defendant moving party today, Robert Mariscotti.
All right, and sir, your name for the record?
Robert Mariscotti.
All right, and ma'am, your name for the record?
Shayna Flaherty.
All right, I want to thank everybody for appearing via Zoom today. Please realize this, guys, is a legal proceeding, just as if you were all present in the courtroom. Ms. Flaherty or Mr. Mariscotti, any questions for myself or counsel regarding that this, in fact, is a legal proceeding today?
No.
No.
All right, and we're here today on defendant's motion requesting a specific parenting time schedule and makeup parenting time. And ma'am, once counsel is done, you'll be given a full opportunity to respond, okay?
Yep.
All right, and counsel, you're welcome to proceed with defendant's motion.
Okay, very good. Yes, so I'll simply direct your attention to the written motion. I don't have much other to say than what's contained therein. I mean, the parties have been working together regarding parenting time since the judgment was issued October 6th, 2015. And apparently the minor child suffered a lice infestation or infection and eczema from swimming. And mother has been withholding the child from my client since then. There is no neglect. There is no abuse. Both parties are good parents. And ultimately, my client by right has can request a specific parenting time schedule. So that's what we're here to do. My client relayed to me that what the parties traditionally have done, subject to fluctuations from time to time, is that which is set forth in paragraph 2 of the motion. And so what we're going to ask for is what we articulated in paragraph 5 of the motion, which includes a provision about a holiday parenting time schedule too. And however, we would ask that although we would have the schedule as a default, should the parties not be able to work something out, if the parties are amenable to changing things from time to time, they can do so by agreement. And hopefully, we haven't been here since October 6th, 2015. Hopefully we can go another same amount of duration before we're back.
Okay. And guys, and I thank counsel for pointing that out, guys. You guys have been doing extremely well. And it tends to happen until there's a disagreement. And then you get up here, but it doesn't mean that anybody's good or bad or doesn't love your children. The court doesn't look at it that way. And the fact you haven't been back here for so long says you guys have been doing relatively well. And guys, your daughter is Maya and she's age 9. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And what grade will she be going into
She'll be
next
entering
year?
4th grade.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong. So in the motion, it indicates you guys, obviously you live about 39, 40 miles apart from each other. Is that correct?
Correct. She moved when she was in kindergarten.
Okay. And so obviously you guys had to select somebody to have the school week for her to go to school. And she's been staying with Mr. Mariscotti during the school year. And how long has that been going on?
It started around this a little before COVID. So 2019 when she was in kindergarten.
Okay. And you would have every Monday to Friday and mom every weekend, Friday to Sunday.
Yes.
Right.
Before that, we used to alternate Thursdays, but then she moved and it became hard to get her to school on those days.
Okay. And did you guys do anything different in the summers, different than the school year? You just kept that through the summer, or did you do something different in the summer?
For the most part, just this, we kept it consistent. Is this? She usually has summer school or swimming or different. I try to keep her busy in the summer.
Okay. And as a starting point, Ms. Flaherty, do you agree that for the last couple of years, she's gone to school and lived at Dad's house Monday through Friday and yours on the weekends?
There is some sort of disagreement with that. I used to pick her up from school on Thursday afternoons because I don't take her to school Friday mornings with cupcakes or like brownies or something like that.
Okay.
It's for Friday. Yeah. And so that's where he's wrong on that. I used to get her every Thursday to Sunday. It wasn't fluctuating. That's how it was. And then as to like when it came to summertime, he never really talked with me about putting her into summer school or swim classes. I would want to take her out to go camping or something like that. Nothing was ever
Mhm.
me or talked with me as far as her schooling, as far as anything like that. And that's kind of where I'm getting tired of it, because if I want to go pick her up from school, I have had a situation where the school will not give me her unless they talk to him. And if we have 50-50 physical and legal custody, I don't see why the problem is there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the school. Sometimes they get a little scared, but you guys both have joint legal rights, and they shouldn't be making one of you authorize the other. So I'll leave you to take that up with them. So, ma'am, what would you like to be the schedule to be? So, just so you guys know, as a starting point, what you guys do for extended period of time establishes what we call the custodial environment. It's a lot of legal language, but it means what you've done for an extended period of time. The court presumes that's what you should continue doing, open to arguments that for some reason that should change. So even though you haven't had a specific schedule, if what you've done for a couple or 2 or 3 years is you weekends, Mr. Mariscotti the week, the court's going to start assuming that's the order we should do, absent you guys arguing for some reason that you want to do something else or the court should order something else. Ma'am, what do you think the schedule should be? Is that the schedule you want to continue, or is there a different schedule that you want?
I personally would want a different schedule. With her being a growing female, I really feel like she should be with her mother. There's been instances where she has came to me very, very unhygienic. Me and my mother, her grandmother, have raised this issue about her body odor, and I have sent home deodorants which get thrown away. I have tried with her hair, especially. This isn't the first time her hair has came to me knotted and matted. I have countlessly tried to use detangler and spent hours doing her hair, and I kind of needed that on their side.
Okay. Well, let me ask this. Has the school ever taken issue or sent you guys a letter or contacted you about hygiene? Because if it's really rough or bad, so to say, usually you'll get a contact from the school. That one or both of you will say her hygiene's not what the school feels is appropriate. If that's not happening, then,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Or he doesn't even have me down on any of the school. And
Okay, well, again, that's a different issue than hygiene. Right now, we're talking about hygiene, and you're saying he's not properly. Has she had issues and had to go to the doctor with female problems or urinary tract infections, things that tend to go with bad hygiene? Has anything happened like that a pediatrician said, hey, her hygiene's not up to what it should be?
No, honestly, if you want me to be honest, neither of her have taken her to the doctor.
I have.
But guys, just so you know, if hygiene's really bad, females can have issues. I just mentioned one of them, and that tends to happen. So when hygiene issues present themselves, and from the family court, there's usually either letters from the school about appearance or odor, or young girls will have female problems that might be unique to young girls, and you'd go to a pediatrician, and I'll get a letter from a pediatrician that says, hey, you got to be better about this. You got to be better about bathing. These infections are happening, things of that nature. If you don't have any of that, there's a bit of a disconnect here, because really bad hygiene should go along with some of those things. Now, I'm not saying that there's not a discussion for you guys to have as parents, but if you're not having the medical issues that go with hygiene, and the school and your pediatrician's not saying anything, is she having dental issues, like lots of cavities or anything that would be bad, lack of brushing teeth or anything like that?
She has had some cavities in the past, but most of those have fallen out as baby teeth, and we've gotten better at it over time.
All right, Mr. Mariscotti, any conversations as Miss Flattery called you and said, "Hey, your daughter's hair needs to be a little better"?
Yeah, we've definitely had these conversations, and she has very long, thick hair, and if you pick her up in the middle of the weekday on Friday after she's been running around and playing, her hair gets curly, or her hair gets nappy, or not nappy, but like really.
Okay.
And we do it here too. We have detangler spray. We got special stuff. You gotta let it sit for a little while and then comb it out.
Okay. So ma'am, what was your intent when you kept her from him? Was it because of the lice as indicated by counsel, or what was your intent? Were you planning to send her back once that was cleared up, or what were you thinking was going to happen in the long term?
I just originally wanted to get Lice situation handled. I didn't want her going bouncing from household to household to household and it infesting from my house to his house to my mother's house, because I also had to inform my mother because she went there I think a week prior to coming to see me. She was at my mother's house, and by the time she had gotten to me, her hair all on the back of her ear, back of her neck, and on the other side of her ear and all up front here was coated. I'm still now.
So do you think it happened at Mr. Mariscotti's home, or you guys don't know when it happened or where it happened, or?
Don't know. I want to say it was school because she told me that lice checks. So I honestly think it was just a school.
Okay. All right. So let me ask this. So if Mr. Mariscotti didn't bring this motion, were you going to bring a motion before the court and say, hey, she should go to school where I'm at and she should live with me? Because otherwise you guys would have hit the school year, and if in the court, I could assume she was going to go back to dad's. So do you understand the point I'm making? Now that we're here, he's saying, I want the schedule we've been following. You're saying, I want custody or her to be primarily with me during the school year. But were you planning to file a motion? Because if not, what were you going to do in September?
I really just wanted originally to get the lice situated. And then I want things legally how they are supposed to be, because every year he also claims her on taxes that I can never claim her either. And it's just, there's like a list of things.
Okay. Well, you guys aren't here for that issue, but let me address that issue. The IRS tax regulations is whoever has 6 months, 182.5 or more overnights out of the year gets the exemption. You guys are not doing 182.5. Per your testimony, you both have indicated if she's with dad Monday through Friday and you for even, that's either a 4-3 split or a 5-2, he's got more overnights. He's now tipped over the 182.5. So per IRS tax regulations, he's entitled to it. If you guys don't have an order that says basically you contract to something else and like a judgment that says you alternate it, then the court defaults to the IRS regulations. And since he's got more time, it would be he'd be entitled to use it.
Okay.
The only difference, correct me if I'm wrong, there's no in your judgment that says you guys are alternating. Am I correct?
No.
That wasn't something you guys agreed to? Because at that point, I'd say it's a contract and you guys agreed to it. But that can also be argued that, well, that was based on week off, and we changed that, and therefore it tipped the overnights, and then you should modify it. You could make that argument too. So in my view, they are Mr. Mariscotti's based on the schedule of which you've been following the exemption. So do you guys, either one of you, want a full week in the summer? How long has she been with mom so far? 1 week, 2 weeks?
She's been with her for a little over 2 weeks, just over.
So guys, I'm going to be honest, and counsel, you're welcome to interject or argue or object. I'm inclined to say you both are entitled to 2 full weeks in the summer ongoing. She's used her 2 weeks, you get your 2 weeks, and that resolves the makeup issue. And then every year you both get 2 full weeks in the summer, and you can, usually we give 3 full weeks if you guys want, only 2 to be consecutive or all, but to resolve this year, I would say she had 2 weeks, you get 2 weeks, and just do that every year. You both get 2 weeks summer extended. Any thoughts, counsel, about that?
I would recommend, Mr. Mariscotti, that you accept that proposal. That way, that would allow you to take vacation time with her. And Miss Flaherty said that she had camping ideas in mind, and that would allow camping to be scheduled for her. So I would recommend that approach.
Yeah, I'm more than amenable to that.
So it sounds like you guys, your difference is whether she gets every Thursday to Sunday or every Friday to Sunday. But ma'am, that means with that distance, you have to pick her up from school on Thursday or get from his house Thursday night and get her to school Friday morning. And you got distance there. You got, how long does it take to get between your homes? 40 minutes?
Yeah,
about an hour.
So,
traffic.
yeah, and then there's winter, there's inclement weather. I mean, is that something that's really practical? I have a feeling you guys stopped doing that probably because of logistics.
Yeah, that's what it was due to, honestly. And then with me having to move out here, yeah, that's why we kind of.
So do you think it's real? So here's the thing. We can resolve this all today if you agree, or if you want to argue that you want that Thursday or, then I would refer to a facilitator and say a hearing. But I think logistically, when you have that distance, it's harder than people suspect to maintain that every week and get back and forth. Is that something you realistically think you could do, considering you guys stopped doing it probably because of the difficulty, right?
Yeah.
What I would propose or suggest, Mr. Mariscotti, is that even if you have the schedule as set forth in the motion, if Ms. Flaherty from time to time does reach out about Thursdays, that you do accommodate requests.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Okay, so that's what we would
Okay.
request, Your Honor, that.
Yeah, because for time, energy, and resources, if you can wrap it up today, it's probably best for everybody. And what do you guys do for holidays?
Pretty much we're pretty good at alternating. She gets Christmas Eve, I get Christmas Day.
Okay.
She gets weekends, so most holidays that fall on weekends she gets. Most holidays that fall on weekdays
Okay.
I get.
So do you guys feel you need a specific holiday schedule or no? You think you can work that out?
Yeah, I think as long as we keep doing what we've been doing, we should be fine.
And let me ask this. Do you guys want a review of support or no? You guys are cool with where it's at. Is it charging now or not charging? What's the support doing?
It's charging me, but I think we probably both our incomes have probably raised a little bit. So we're probably about,
Because it obviously doesn't match your schedule. Clearly.
Why don't we schedule for review with the investigator recommendation, Your Honor?
Yeah, I can just, if you guys, I mean, I would probably just set it for a referee hearing if that works for everybody, and it would be via Zoom. We should review it. And guys, if it's been 3 years, you can have a review, and there's under all these different reasons the court would, but not having a new schedule would be some reason that we would initiate a review.
Okay. Just
so you know. And you guys, if you decide once we run the numbers, you want to do something else, we'll talk about that as well if you want to deviate. But we'll save that till then. So I'm going to indicate now, and you guys always have 21 days to object to my decision unless you want to waive the right to object and consent, but you don't have to do that. I'm going to indicate that during the school year, defendant shall have parenting time every Sunday evening until Friday evening. And do you guys want the times in there? Or as indicated in the motion, it's 9:00 on Sundays and 5 Fridays. Is that what you guys want to continue?
that's more approximate time. So I mean, if you just kept it vague, I'd be okay with it, as long as because I get her when I get off of work on Sunday, and then I take her to her mom's when I pick her up from school.
Okay, so defendant shall have parenting time every Sunday evening until Friday. If the parties are unable to agree to a time, Sunday should be at 9 and Friday at 5. Does that work? That language?
That would be perfect, I would think.
Okay. Parties are entitled to 2 weeks extended summer parenting time each year. And guys, that should resolve the 2 weeks that your child's been with. And are you guys okay? So here's when I say consecutive. Some people do not like a 14-day stretch. They'll say 2 weeks, but only 1 week at a time. Are you guys okay with the 2 weeks together, or would you prefer that be separate?
I guess I'll defer to her, whatever she'd prefer.
I mean, I would like to keep it. I would like to keep it together, not separate.
Okay. All right. So you've had your 2 weeks, so you're going to tell her, and usually we ask that you guys exchange those dates. Parties should exchange those dates by May 15th each year. Okay. You have it this summer, you're past it, but just figure out what you guys want to do. But he's now entitled to 2 weeks. You've had, ma'am, yours 2 weeks. He can pick how you guys want to do that. And I'm going to put 3, the matter of child so should be referred for referee hearing. Effective, we'll do it. We can do it effective the date of the motion, or is July 1st. The motion was June 29th. Is everyone okay if we use the 1st of the month for the review date?
We would stipulate to July 1st, Your Honor, just because they like to keep it the 1st of the month.
All right, so we're going to do that. We're going to review support effective July 1st. Guys, that'll be via Zoom. It'll be with myself or the judge's other referee, Miss Marianne Spryzak-Hanna. And you'll get a notice of that in the mail. It'll be by Zoom. So you guys won't have to come in here, and it'll tell you the stuff we need, your pay stubs and stuff before that happens. Is there anything, counsel, I've missed in this order that you need me to address?
I would ask my client, Mr. Mariscotti, with regards to what was recommended, verbally said by the referee, is there anything else that hasn't been addressed, do you think? I don't know if we discussed we discussed holiday parenting time, but that wasn't part of the recommendation.
Yeah. Why don't I put in there 3 parties shall share holidays by mutual agreement? And either party may file a motion if unable to agree. If you guys in the future, you can get a specific schedule. Does that work for everybody?
That's perfect.
I'm going to throw this in there I'm just going to throw this in there, guys, based on some things we've talked about. Both parties shall be listed on the school emergency list.
Okay.
And guys, some schools get nervous when they know someone's the primary, but you both are joint legal custodians. You should have the right to go to the school, get access to all information. Obviously, it's not overly usual for parents to show up at school. So I always ask why are people showing up at schools, but if it's on rare occasion and you guys are okay with it for special occasions or once in a while, I'm not going to take issue. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. You guys are reasonable. You know, I have a law degree, but guys, I'm just like anyone else. If you were sitting here and someone said, I showed up at school, is it egregious? Is there some strange thing about it? Or is it fine? You know, don't make mountains out of molehills and don't be showing up repeatedly at schools. That's not a normal occurrence, guys, to show up at school. But if you do it once in a while, I'm not going to demonize you for it. Your parents, you can do whatever you want. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions, Ms. Flattery? Anything you'd like to add or anything you'd like to address?
Honestly, no. Everything was addressed.
Okay, and counsel, go ahead.
Yep. The one thing is the return of the minor child to my client because he's gone without parenting time. I would ask that the child be returned to him today.
Are you guys able to effectuate that today?
I will I can get there after I pick up my son from summer school.
And what time would that be? So Ms. Flaherty knows.
10:55 is when he gets out. So it would take me in about noon when I'd get there.
Are you okay with that, ma'am? Or you guys want to?
I'd be okay with that. She's still sleeping right now, so I'd have to start waking her up to start
Okay.
getting.
All right, so I'll put the parties shall exchange their minor, the minor child shall be returned to defendant's care. Today's date, July 10th, 2023 at approximately noon.
Okay.
All right. And then Lice is now gone. Lice is taken care of. That's not an issue. We're all good with that.
Yep.
Is that correct, Ms. Flattery? The Lice is gone?
Yeah, she still has a few eggs like here and there. I would suggest maybe one more treatment to him.
Okay, yeah, I'll take care of that. I'll figure.
So, Mr. Mariscotti, do you want her back with the Lice, or do you want to stay at mom's a couple more days?
No, I'll take care of it. I'll buy the stuff.
Okay. All right.
Take care of it right.
Okay. Did you need to pick her up later then if you got to pick up the stuff? Do you want to pick her up later in the day then if you got to go pick that up?
No, I mean I got some time right now. I'll go to the store and buy it and pick it up. I don't have to pick my son up until 10:55.
All right, guys. Okay. With that, guys, this is now an order of the court. You still have 21 days to object if you decide that you're right under the law. So if you change your mind, you can object. At an objection hearing, the Honorable Terry Lynn Dennings will decide if she wants to uphold my order or change all or part of it, and her decision would be the final say. Okay? And we're going to email you guys a copy of this order and the objection procedure if that's okay with everybody. Is everyone okay with emails?
Yep. That's perfect for me.
All right, guys. With that, then you guys are all set. Please have a good day. Stay healthy and safe. And guys, that concludes this hearing. Okay.
Thank you very much. You have a good day.
All right. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye. Minutes early. So that's my fault.
Five.
The 14A District Court is now back in session. All those having business before the court draw near, the Honorable Judge James Cedric Simpson presiding.
And good morning. Does call case of, is it Tanya Agbor? Is it Bayi versus Standard Auto Service?
Good morning, Your Honor. Carl for the defendant.
Your name,
Good
sir?
morning, Judge. Kanye Agbobayi.
Are you driving?
I am almost parking, sir. I'm almost parking. I got to pick my daughter.
You need to
from
pull
school.
over.
Yes, Judge. Yes, Judge. Judge, if you can give me 4 minutes, I'll get to the school.
No, I'm not giving you 4 minutes. This is the time for your
Okay,
thing. You
Judge.
need to pull over.
I pulled over, Judge.
All right. This case. counsel? Anybody want to tell me where we are on this case?
Carl Scheer, Your Honor, case was before Judge Barr. My client had a matter with the city of Ypsilanti at a time when Mr. Barr was counsel for the city, and he recused himself.
Right.
Excuse me.
I got all that. I think the issue in this case is there was an engine put into a vehicle, right?
Yes.
It lasted 8 months. And then the question is, who's responsible for the failure of the engine?
I think that's correct.
Sir, is that a correct statement of what's going on here?
That's a correct statement, Judge.
Okay, so I also understand, and are the parties in agreement that there was a 90-day warranty on this engine?
Yes.
I don't remember about that, Judge. I don't remember about any 90 days.
All right,
And
so
before we move on, Judge, I know before Judge Barr last January, the defendant judge supposed to call me for us to negotiate. He never did that, and now it's like we are starting over. It's like they're buying time for something.
you're breaking up, sir.
Judge Barr had. Yeah, oh no, Judge Barr had given him the opportunity to settle the case with me. I'm not sure why he did not do that. And now it's like we are starting over. And this keeps coming. I just don't understand why we have to go through this.
Well, you filed a lawsuit. That's why we have to go through it.
Okay, Judge.
I mean, the problem is that if there's a 90-day warranty on the engine, what are you saying happened to the engine, sir?
Judge, what happened to the engine? First of all, there are two brothers. There are two brothers who work in that location. The mechanic shop. One was Musa. I negotiated everything with Musa before he started the job. I brought all of this on the table. He told me that, don't worry, Tanya. Be aware, Judge, I've been a loyal customer to these guys for almost 23 years. I've been loyal to them. He told me that don't worry about it. As long as you do your oil changes, you'll be fine. I said, okay, Musa, I trust you. And so in 3 months, I came back to do my oil change. When the car had a problem after 8 months, I came back. The brother had just come back from vacation within that 8 months. The allegation was that I drove the car above 5,000 miles. You know, and I'm saying, how does that correlate with the whole situation? How does that correlate with the engine of the car? So that was my problem. I said, it's not fair. I said, we are in America. At least, there is warranty. It's the law for you to install a part on my car and let me know and give me some warranty time. The brother Musa said it was not a problem. There wasn't any 3 month agreement, sir.
So when did you're saying you did an oil change there?
I did an oil change there. So I took the car they gave me the car in I think February of 22, February of 21. I came back, I did my oil change in April. They have the record. And then they're saying that I drove for 5,000 miles. He was saying all this without knowing all the Mo. His name is Mo. He's the one that was in his country and came back, and then I met him. He's the one that, just because on the defense, that I drove 1,000 miles. I called Toyota. Toyota said that shouldn't be a problem.
And Mr. Chair, I guess from your client's perspective, he's not saying that he's saying that they didn't do an oil change. Mr. Shear, you're muted, sir.
I'm sorry, I was coughing.
Okay.
But I didn't want to cough while this was going on. I apologize.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But from what I understand plaintiff saying is that he did an oil change, that he did it at your client's establishment. When I read your answer, you guys are claiming that he didn't do an oil change at all.
That's correct. If he did an oil change, it would show up in our records.
Judge, I did an oil change. In April.
Okay, all right. Do you have the receipt for the oil change?
I'll look for the receipt, Judge. I think I had submitted that receipt there.
Say again?
It should be in the file there somewhere.
Well, they're saying that their records don't show that you came in for an oil change. I'm asking, do you have proof that you went in for an oil change?
I don't have proof of that, sir, but the money that I paid them is on my bank account. It's on my bank note that I paid for the oil change.
All right. Here's what I'm going to do, because, I understand what the issues are. And is there any information, sir, that you need from the defendants in this case?
And Judge, just to let you know, they've impounded my car without my.
No. I just need to know, is there any information, documents or other things that you need from the other side? Sir? Man.
Judge, I will send him copies of everything I have.
All right.
But I'll do it again.
Mr. Abor,
Yes, Judge.
they're going to send you everything that they have. Mr. Shearer, is there anything that you need from him?
His car, I need the disposition of the car. My understanding is it was towed. And if he has any documents relating to the disposition of the car, I need those.
Sir,
Mr. Shue,
what happened to the vehicle?
Your Honor, I had taken the car there hoping that we'll negotiate for us to come up with a deal, an agreement for me to at least pay something for them to at least get the car running. So to my greatest dismay, I went back there to get my car. They said that my car was towed. I said, why should you guys impound my car without my knowledge?
So you don't know where the car is?
Judge, I did my research and I think it ended up in Stadium Towing. I went to Stadium Towing. I had a conversation with Mr. Shea. He said that he was going to talk to them. Till today, he hasn't mentioned anything about it. And my car has been salvaged.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set a final settlement conference in this case for September 15th, 2023, 9 a.m. At 9 a.m. I'm sorry, that's at 3:30 p.m. That is in person. That means you got to come here I need the plaintiff here, certainly that you have to be here. And Mr. Sherry, you'll have to have somebody that has authority to settle the case. If we can't get it settled on that date, I'll set it for trial.
All right, again, September 15th at,
At 3:30, September 15th, 3:30.
thank you.
Hello, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good. How about yourself, John?
Oh, I cannot complain. It's a beautiful day, but it's not a beautiful day for this pro golfer. The airlines lost his golf clubs. And I shouldn't laugh about this, but he flew on Spirit Airlines and they lost his clubs.
I'm picking Spirit and I'm picking United and it won't find it
Yeah.
anymore. Because they've lost my luggage too.
And he posted the replacements that they gave him. And he said, these are hilarious, the replacements that they gave him. Because I'm sure his golf clubs cost a lot. Well, hopefully he gets his,
5 minutes later. 5 minutes.
hello, Miss Lockhart. All right, Miss Lockhart, we're going to bring you back on July 27th. My understanding from probation is you have an appointment with them on July 20th, okay?
Okay.
All right, so we'll bring you back on the 27th to see where we are. Yes.
One other thing, Judge, we talked about mental health.
Mhm.
Which she apparently told somebody in the system that she's not interested. She is interested in mental health work. She not discussed that today. She understands a little bit more about health work and part of your probation. And I think that's a fantastic program.
Okay.
I would highly recommend that she either be pre-screened or whatever she.
Well, here's the thing. You have to discuss that with your attorney and counsel. If you want to speak with mental health court and talk to them, you can. And they will have your client with you on at that time. If you want to be there with her for the interview.
Okay. Can you restate with you? Okay, so probation.
Probation is going to come visit you on July 20th because that's when you're scheduled for your next evaluation.
Okay.
And then we're going to come back on July 27th because I will have that report so I'll know what's a good placement for you.
Yes.
All right. So do you want to go to mental health court?
Not,
I mean, you can discuss it with your attorney, okay? Now, here's my other question. Why is her outfit dirty? I mean, this is not, I have dirt that just won't come out of an outfit. It's dirty. Does anybody know why her clothing is not clean? Are they not doing laundry at the jail? I mean, am I the only person seeing this, that her outfit is dirty? I mean, were you crawling on the floor or something in your outfit, or did they give that to you like that? All right, so we're gonna have to, I'll call the jail and see what's up with laundry. I mean, I know they,
Yeah, I think you did with sheets dirty too.
your sheets are dirty too?
Where are they keeping?
8A.
But I mean, is it just regular stuff? It's GP. So no, it's GP. So
All right, so I'll call over there and see what's going on with the laundry. I think they have the trustees to do laundry. Okay, I'm sorry.
It was making me itch.
Okay, well, here's the thing. As I tell people, when you're at the jail, you're not going to get the detergent and then they're going to put some Downy in the rinse cycle
They don't clean.
or sheets. Your detergent just says detergent. The soap just says soap. So, but I'm going to check on that at the jail. And so you're saying sheets are not being washed and the uniforms not being washed?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I will talk to the sheriff about that.
Thank you.
And I'll talk to the sheriff about deputies being worked overtime, but that's all I can do is put that out there. All right, is there anything else?
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
If
we're going to re-refer over to mental health court. I'll just give you an order to sign.
Yes. Okay, but that won't interfere with her scheduled 20th date.
We're gonna keep that date as well.
Okay. All right. So your attorney is going to talk to you about mental health court. So we can't do this thing where you tell them you're not interested and then we do this back and forth. We don't do that. Okay. So your attorney will speak to you about that, but I will see you back here on the 27th. Yes. And I'll talk to the sheriff about the outfits and the clothing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sure.
All right. Lutrell Miles. Is he in custody, Norma?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right. Recall him for the 13th since his attorney is in federal trial. State, this was a plea that was entered, but our Miles, his attorney is in federal jury trial. So he's asking for it to be recalled for July 13th. So we'll be back at that time. Bashan, Miles is going to come back on the 13th. Who's here on George Ibarra?
I am, John, we're ready.
Okay. Hello. Thank you for coming and thank you for dressing appropriately for court. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 3055, State of Texas versus George Ibarra. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
For the defense?
Mr. Ibarra.
And are you Mr. Ibarra? All right, Mr. Ibarra, you entered a plea of no contest on June 20th. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court found you guilty, and you were reported here today for sentencing. And I appreciate that you came in knowing that you were going to be sentenced to do time. So before I sentence you, is there any drug issue on your part? Because I see this as a possession less than a gram case.
I've had issues with before.
All right. So what I can do is I can refer you to the therapeutic community if you wish to be referred to the therapeutic community. It's held at the prison. It doesn't increase the length of time that you're in custody at all. Would you like that? Okay. All right. The court is finding you guilty as previously stated. The court will sentence you to 11 months in the state jail facility. Court will give you credit for any time served. Showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, no, that's yours for your client. And because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? Yes. All right, we can go off the record. So, Mr. Ibarra, when you get out, go do some sober support meetings. Don't get caught up in this. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in and out of custody. You understand? And with regards to drugs, you never know if you're going to end up with a bad batch. And the last time you use may be the last time you use. You understand? All right. Good luck to you. Thanks for showing up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Right.
Excuse?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sure.
All vouchers.